Are you dealing with relationship conflicts? Jesus provides a process that really works when you've been done wrong. Jesus said, settle it face to face. Good morning and welcome to 755 Live. For about 5 minutes, you'll hear all about easy to remember soundbite versions of what Jesus said. And the point is to help you experience life to the fullest the Jesus way. Today's Jesus Said comes from Matthew 18, verses 15 through 17, where Jesus said, if another believer sins against you, go privately and point out the offense. If the other person listens and confesses it, you have won that person back. But if you're unsuccessful, take one or two others with you and go back again, so that everything you say may be confirmed by 2 or 3 witnesses. If the person still refuses to listen, take your case to the church. Then, if he or she won't accept the church's decision, treat that person as a pagan or a corrupt tax collector. Jesus said, settle it in person. The point here is you probably aren't a very good mind reader. Neither am I. And Jesus said we should settle things face to face. And he gives you 3 very simple steps to deal with someone who has done you wrong. Reconciliation is the key to relationship and belonging. And mind reading, assuming that you know what someone else is thinking, it isolates us. And it isolates you into this us against them feeling where anger, fear, and anxiety dwell. If you don't deal directly with the conflict, your own internal conflict will directly impact many other things in your life. Now, if you want Granny's apple pie, you have to follow her recipe. If we don't follow this process, the recipe that Jesus gave us, these simple commands of Jesus, then you won't get reconciliation or the right kind of reaction to those who don't respond like you want them to. Mind reading and not confronting things in person will get you division, judgment, whispers, and gossip. Or in a more modern term, social media. Here are some little known facts. The way Jesus outlined dealing with fault and conflict among believers here in Matthew 18 does not include social media posts. The recipe does not include going to someone else to talk about someone else. If someone wrongs you, the right thing is to go to them personally. Gossip is easy, but what Jesus said is better, because it will actually resolve the conflict, not make it worse. And notice that you can't follow this whole process unless you already belong to a body of believers, the church, some people that you are committed to and are following Jesus together with. You see, this recipe won't work if you aren't committed to long-term relationships. And in our society, relationships are disposable. We can unfollow, unfriend, pick another church, just stop showing up. But if you don't deal with the real conflict, you just take all that internal conflict with you and the cycle just repeats itself. The Matthew 18 recipe is 3 simple steps in order. But unfortunately, most people jump to the consequences of step 3 without even trying step 1. But first, you go to the person who has wronged you or offended you. Go to them directly. Most conflict is just simply a lack of communication and understanding. And if that doesn't work, try again with 2 or 3 witnesses. And the very last resort is to bring it to the church, a group of Jesus followers doing life together. Then, and only then, if it still doesn't work, the rules of relationship need to change, and you will need to separate from that person. Those are the steps. But here's the attitude you need to actually follow these steps. Galatians 6, 1 and 3. Dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back onto the right path. And be careful not to fall into the same temptation yourself. Share each other's burdens, and in this way, obey the law of Christ. If you think you are too important to help someone, you are only fooling yourself. You are not that important. Reconciliation isn't about fixing each other. It's about helping to carry each other's burdens. If that person has really wronged you, they need help. And how can you help them? Well, Jesus told us. He said, settle it face to face. How can you put that into action today? Thank you so much for listening. If this is meaningful to you, it really means a lot to me. When you like it, share it, comment, just helps get the good news out there. I really appreciate you. I hope that you have an amazing day. And I hope this time together has helped you live life to the fullest, the Jesus way. You can find a different command of Jesus at our weekday Bible plan at bible.today.church. And remember, follow Jesus today. Love first.